Hello, hello. I have arrived. Artist, archivist, feature man, and tonight, Alchemist. You can call me Tiberius Vanderfield. Hello. Hello. Yes. So, tonight, Atelier Yumia, even. The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land. I always want to say the Alchemist of Memories and the Forgotten Land, but I think that's the Kirby game that I'm thinking of. Anyway, we're not playing Kirby today. Anyway. Yes. So, no stream yesterday, unfortunately. Yeah, I had some business that I had to attend to, and I wasn't able to get around to that in such time as to be able to stream. But yes, let's see. Other than that, let's see. Anything else to be said? Not really, I suppose. We'll just go through the business and get into the game. Because yeah, we are a little bit late. But yes, due in part to me just being a little bit late, but also due in part to I restarted my computer as I usually do, but I forgot to not set it to update when it restarted, so I had to wait through an update, which was quite unfortunate, but oh well. So, business. So, tonight, let's see. Yes, Atelier, we already went over that. Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, so we should be seeing some more Guilty Gear Strive. Then on Saturday, we should be seeing some more Arknights. Yes. Then, yeah, so on the Saturday stream, I am going to have a fairly busy day Saturday, though it's not impossible that things could be delayed to some extent, though I don't imagine that they would be extensively. But yeah, currently I'm going to... It's a little bit of an outside chance, so we're going to plan on the usual time for Saturday. And just as a reminder, the Friday stream should be around 9:30 p.m. Central Time, and then the Saturday stream should be around 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Alright, so, with that, I suppose we might as well get right into the game, because we don't want to delay too much. So yes, Atelier. So yes, so, last time around, we learned a little bit about the village that lives with spirits. More or less that it is a thing that is known about to a certain extent. We found an area that we are meant to examine, but we weren't able to make our way inside. I imagine we should be able to figure it out in the time that we have. Just realized we don't have a whole lot of energy. I think I would like to... Let's see, I do believe that I set up an energy collector at the campsite. Alright, I believed wrongly. I suppose my... Yeah, anyway. Atelier. I know that we've got one here, at least. Oop. There we are. So, full energy. Should have plenty of juice to explore the mana-bound area. We've got a nice, convenient fast travel point right outside. So, let us fix the game so that we have game audio, actually. Hold on. Right. Okay, that should be better. Alright. So, we need to get inside here. And we've seen that there is a shrine over there that is connected in some way. Though now that I think about it... Alright, now that I think about it, we're in a fight. So, I'll have to continue my thought later, perhaps. Alright. Very good. Alright. We'll move in. Yeah, we want to make sure that we're mixing some uses of Penetrate into our other skills, because they will improve our ability to stun the enemy. I still wonder if there's a way to target specific enemies. Right, we do also have items. We do have items. You might want to use those every now and then. Considering that I kind of just sort of forget that I have them a lot of the time. Certainly this isn't necessarily optimal, but it's something at least. So yeah, I need to remember that the buttons that are on, or the abilities that are on the same button do share a cooldown, even between the close and far versions. Okay, so I need to press it in order to be able to switch. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that I had to hold down the item button in order to be able to... Ooh, I'm getting some frame rate issues, it looks like. These enemies are quite strong. So yeah, so I think an important part of being able to fight efficiently here will probably be learning when to switch over to different abilities and whatnot. Switch over to different abilities, switch over to items and whatnot, in order to keep up the momentum. Because yeah, it does basically seem that a fight can go more or less as fast as I allow it to. Alright. So we need to get in here. Presumably this involves examining the entrance in some capacity, as per the description. Or no, wait, hold on, right. Right, I forgot about this. Yeah, I just remembered. We went all the way back to the campsite in order to be able to pick up the repair kit. Okay. Because we were going around this building time and time again, going all over back and forth, trying to determine how we would open it, and I just completely missed the lever outside. So. And then I had forgotten that we had discovered the lever. So. Now that we have unforgotten that, remembered, some might even say. Alright. A new recipe, it seems. Alright. What shall we get? I think this is our first time experiencing this sort of result from examining one of these vials. At the very least, I don't remember anything like this previously. We know that they contain memories, but I don't know if we've ever seen the memories be this direct. Could be that they're encountering a phenomena not unlike this. Indeed it did cut off. Yes. Oh, spirits and the underground lake. I did have an interest in exploring around the underground lake previously. This one's a bit different. Oh, okay. So. Okay, I think I'm starting to understand how this works. I should hope so after all this time. Okay. Like, I noticed that there were some of the sort of external elements there had a slightly larger icon It'd be more... okay, that's not openable. I assume it's probably not going to be locked if I activate these. Alright, let's get another memory vial. Alright. So. How do we... Ah, here we are. There we go. Alright, so that should be the shrine over there active now. I don't see... I suppose there must be another switch around here somewhere. Maybe it was on the lower level. Whoop. Hold on. Is that... No, that's just a window. Oh, but hold on. I think I did see something over there. Something not quite at ground level. Oh, right. That's the treasure chest we just opened previously. Alright. Down we go. Does there happen to be a... I don't see another switch around here. Nothing on the underside there. Of course, I don't have a full view of it, but it seems a little bit unlikely that they would be too much up there. Now I'm curious about that treasure chest. I suppose I shouldn't be too frivolous with my time here, both because of the mana and because of the other time constraints. But I do want to figure this out if I can. That's... ah, there we are. Yeah, anyway, I assume that this is not going to require the lockpicking minigame, given that we just solved the puzzle to open it. And it does seem that we have enough, or we have the fall damage. Okay, no. Okay, so that level is safe to drop down from. Alright. Before we head off, I am going to pick up some more energy from this flower. And so yes. So, I noted the presence of an underground lake on the map earlier. I had no idea that it was at all relevant to the story. I just sort of saw this area and thought, this seems like an interesting place to go to, and it seems that we were right. Anyway. So, let's go interact with that shrine now that we've got it unlocked. Make sure to collect as much fruit as we can. Yeah, we never want to pass up fruit now that we see how useful it is. Alright. Another shrine active. Probably should not activate. We probably should enhance some of our skills as well at some point, or acquire some new skills rather. I've only ever gotten one. We've definitely gotten a lot of skill points since then. Let's see. Do we have... oh, I was going to say, do we have a repair kit? But it seems that that's not necessary. All right. So this should be good. It'll get us closer to where we're going at the very least. I do need to keep an eye on the number of gloves that we have. We shouldn't be needing too many of them. But not, or rather, yeah, the need for zipline gloves is not going to be pressing at any point, I don't think. I don't think we're ever going to be in any tremendous danger if we don't happen to have them. But it's always good to keep an eye on things. I'm going to do some more combat off-screen as well. Well, it's a very different looking Uni. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, do some more combat off-screen, because I did notice that that battle against just sort of a random enemy was taking a fair amount longer than I was expecting. Not that it took a tremendously long time. This is not a makeable jump, I don't think. Yeah, it didn't take a tremendously long time, but it still did take longer than I would ideally like. It could just be that those were somewhat tougher enemies than the ones that we've been facing, but the fact remains that we've not been fighting a lot of enemies in general, simply because it usually doesn't seem like it's a tremendously worthwhile expenditure of our time on stream. Anyway, I'm saying all this, but I have no idea if I'm going anywhere near where we need to go. Yes, I'm going very much the wrong direction. So, let's course correct. Especially because, again, we are in a mana-bound area, so we are gradually losing energy. Yeah, I don't know if... Oh, okay, never mind. We have at least one time pressure taken off of us now, but we do have the ever onwards inexorable march of real-world time. Yeah, this should get us closer. I assume we'll have to go... Well, I was going to say I would assume that we have to get up the cliff in order to get there. But it is a subterranean lake, so that's not necessarily a given. Oops. Okay, we've run into something without noticing. Yes, okay. Again, I was a little bit worried that maybe we were under-leveled or something. Oh, hold on. We just got a new skill on Yumia. Yeah, I was a little bit worried that we were perhaps under-leveled there, but it seems that is not the case. Or did we get a new skill on Yumia? I thought that we did. Oh, can we? What is that? Okay, yeah. They are definitely linked. Yeah, Rapid Fire is always going to be linked to Snipe. Piercing Arts is always going to be linked to Strike Arts. Okay. Yes, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, all of Isla's skills do physical damage, it looks like. I suppose that wasn't ever really in question, per se, but yeah, I just hadn't confirmed that previously. Anyway, we got something. We got something on Yumia, it looked like, from that level up. Something, I guess maybe it was a skill? Or perhaps the ability to get a skill? That could be useful. This could really be useful because shooting fruit is the main, or shooting things is the main way that we get fruit. Fruit is very good. We've definitely got a lot of skill points. Exploration bag. That's also, or no. Is the exploration bag what we keep the usable items in? I'm not sure about that now that I think about it. I don't think so. Oh, ooh, okay. Now that we've learned about how the cooking system works, I'm definitely interested in investing in more time with food buffs. Yeah, I don't know if I want to invest too heavily into this. These are definitely things that I want to invest in as we... Oh, that's a new thing. Friend actions. Yeah, definitely... Okay. I'm very much interested in friend actions. I don't know if we're necessarily going to get much of a chance to use them, but I'm interested in learning that. Yeah, I think I saw something with a symbol not unlike this. But... Do we... This... Okay, no, we didn't already get that. Yeah, quality. I think... Yeah, quality is something that we wanted to get. But, yeah, not something that we did get, evidently. It's interesting how... Yeah, some of the mechanics are just behind the skill tree. Anyway. No, we already got that. Okay. I suppose we... Let me double check. Okay. That's... Oh, friend action. Oh, hold on. What have I... Okay, I've unlocked the ability to do friend actions, and I got a quest related to them. But I don't have them. Okay, yes. Yeah, so this is the exploration bag. So increasing the size of this would increase the number of these items that we're allowed to keep around. I don't know to what extent. It said 1, but I don't know if that's like 1 square or 1 column, perhaps, or anything like that. I suppose it's worth it's worth checking. Yes, that'd be under exploration. Quite expensive, but the limit on our inventory is pretty significant at this point. Okay, that is an entire new. That would be a row. Yes, an entire new row. So that's good. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, we don't have anything that we can put in here right now because we don't have access to our stored supplies. But once we get back, that will be good to have. Okay, anyway. Alright, I do want to avoid fights to a certain extent. Because we're not doing terribly, again, for power. We did have that one quest that we failed pretty hard earlier, but that was specifically a challenge. Okay, I think I might have found the way to get to the underground area, or at least a way to get down there. I don't think that this is the main way, per se. In fact, I'm very confident now that it isn't, given this entrance at ground level that we've just found. But, let's see. Logically, there should be a fast travel point somewhere near here. But this is fairly near another fast travel point, so maybe not. Right, there's something up there at the top of the cliff, which maybe we could have gotten before we dropped down, but I was hoping that maybe that was a fast travel point, but it seems like not. Yes, we'll avoid these. I don't remember what these are called, but I don't particularly want to fight them one way or the other. We know that they're not terribly dangerous. We were able to defeat them without too much trouble. Alright. Yes, it looks like we're getting pretty close to where we need to be. It looks like we've got some new plants as well. This is quite interesting. A little bit distracted. I probably should be focused on what we're doing here, but we are a little bit low on time. But since we did start late, I think I'm willing to go a little bit later than usual as well. Or rather, I feel like I kind of need to. Well, maybe not need to. I shouldn't feel too much pressure, but... Yes, Isla ever the instigator. Well, we did just arrive. We haven't looked into things very much. I feel like we must have encountered a recording before, given the team seems to be pretty nonplussed by the ability of these vials to record sound. Yeah, given how much is being said about how there's nothing here, I'm certain that we're going to encounter something before we leave. Something interesting is going to happen. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Well, I've been wrong before. Alright. Ooh, this is also new. Moss. Nice. Yeah, again, if I do want to be efficient. Maybe I shouldn't run around and pick up everything that catches my eye. But who would I be if I wasn't getting distracted and picking up random rocks off the ground? Alright. I definitely don't want to fight this many beavers, though. Alright. I do want to interact with that shrine there, though. Is that a shrine? I think that's a shrine. Yeah, that's a shrine. Okay. Again, I was hoping to see if I could find a fast travel point. Oh, there's one over here. I thought I had seen one on the map, and so that's why it looked like a shrine to me, but since I remembered seeing a fast travel point, I wasn't 100% certain. One of these days I'll remember what one versus the other looks like. The shrines have, or the fast travel points... this is an interesting structure. Not one that's interactable, it seems like. Yes, anyway, so the fast travel points are these taller structures with sort of the diamond shape on top, whereas the other ones are more rectangular. I imagine this building here is probably where we're going to want to investigate a little bit more, or at least some of these buildings around here. Alright. Well, I know where I'm going to go for the thumbnail for the video, I think. But, again, I want to make some progress. And we have made some progress, but I want to make a little bit more progress. I think, yeah, no reason not to fast travel back, I think. Your heart isn't... Oh no. Okay. For some reason I thought this was not quite the center of the base as usual, but no. Yeah. I mean, all information is good information. We've discovered something. You're new. Yes, Licht looks very cool. I do like Licht. I don't think... He isn't one of the people that we've seen in sort of the group. The group that Yumia was in. So it seems like he's not playable. But he does look cool. Hopefully we'll see a fair amount more of him. Yeah, do we? Yeah. I don't think we have a clear idea of where precisely the village was at this point. Well, there's only one way to know. You get the feeling that Licht may be a little bit less cautious than that. Yes, there's certainly much more to find. I wonder where we'll be going next. If the underground lake isn't necessarily our first port of call. Yeah, we are still focused on that specific village. Okay, so basically, what this is saying to me is that we'll need to do more pioneering tasks. We'll have to advance the pioneering effort more before we can properly continue.
お前たちの協力でひとまず周辺地域の開拓と調査団の基盤作りは完了した。
Alright.
だが当然これで終わりじゃない。
Of course not. There's always more to learn.
調査範囲を拡大してその地域を開拓する。今後はこれを並行して進めていかなくちゃならない。これにあたって先にユミヤがしてみせたように。
Yes, so next we need to clear another mana-bound area. We looked on the map again last time, and we saw some other mana-bound areas. Okay, so yeah, that would seem to suggest, yeah, confirm my suspicions previously.
アラディスではこれを使ってマナの巡りを管理していたという記録が残っています。
I wonder. I feel like I'm doing a lot of theorizing, but I suppose that's kind of the point of an investigation of this sort. But we've heard that Aladis was destroyed by alchemy. I wonder if the real issue was maybe that they were, rather than alchemy itself per se, the issue was that someone maybe sabotaged their mana circulators or something of that sort. Because yes, yeah, clearing the, or repairing the mana circulation system, or rather, okay, we know that there is some sort of issue, basically. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this too much while the cutscene is going on, because I do want to actually take in what they're saying, and I haven't been doing that because I've been too excited to theorize. Because yeah, right now I'm kind of lost, actually, because I was too invested in my own theory. Okay, well, probably I'll just have to watch I'll have to watch it back, maybe.
効率よく調査を進めるなら北からがいいとのことだ。僕は樹海に向かうのを押すが。
Victor seems to be pretty well, he's got a good head on his shoulders. But Ayla has her own idea. Will we have to choose? I imagine we'll choose more or less just by going to a location and doing the thing there. You definitely do disagree a fair amount.
アイラと喧嘩したことは覚えている限り記憶にないな。
なんかいいですね、そういう関係。
Yes, I'm excited to think about this game, which is a good sign, I think. But I shouldn't let any of this get away from me. Because I definitely could stand to be a little bit more attentive to what's going on.
北に向かうか東に向かうか、判断はマナ領域を晴らす力を持つ君に任せよ
う。Alright.
どちらが正解ということもない。君がそうすべきと思った道を選んでくれ。
Yes, once again, I do have to admit that I have not taken in any of the relevant information. So I don't know that I'm qualified to make a solid decision on the matter now. But I'm sure we'll figure something out. I don't think it's going to be a dramatic issue one way or the other. I think mostly this is an opportunity to have a little bit of character growth, with the team learning a little bit more about each other, perhaps. or getting a little bit closer to each other.
二人はこうして焚き火を囲んで意見を交わすっていうのも悪くないかもね。
Yes, I too have thoughts that I want to share. But it looks like we still have a little bit more cutscene to go.
さて、昨日ビクトルさんはああ言ってくれたけど、北か東、
Hmm.
どっちを調べよ
Let
う
me
かな。
actually make a choice.
どっちに行こうかな。
Okay, no, it doesn't seem like the game is
ユミヤに
specifically requesting us make a dialogue choice
道
type
を切り
choice.
開けるのは君だけだからな。
Hmm. Alright, so we've got 2 quests. I don't know if the order that we do them in is
どこにしようか
relevant
な
to anything in particular, but we do have 2 of them. Arbor Botanical Garden, and where was the other one? 8th Imperial Laboratory. So yes. So, while we're here, let me think for a little bit. So yes. So, we just received confirmation in that last cutscene that Flammy here is, or rather, Flammy and Flammy and Yumia have been talking about I believe her name was Irene. I don't remember now that I think about it, but yes, talking about a woman named Irene and talking about Yumia's mother. I had suspected that they were the same person, but now I'm like 99% confident. Yes, now that Yumia specifically says that she received Flammy from her mother. Yes, that's a pretty minor revelation that I've come to, but, I never want to assume anything. But yes, we do have an ad coming up. And I can see on the... Yeah, I don't know if I want to run a very long ad. Because, I don't have that much time left in the stream in general. It says running a 3-minute ad manually will remove the upcoming auto ad. I don't know if the same will be true of if I were to run a 1-minute ad, which I'd be more inclined to do. But I did snooze the ad, so we've got time. So as long as I speak efficiently, which I am not known to do, as long as I speak efficiently, we should be able to get through this without too much issue. Yes. So. Anyway, for my thoughts on Alades. Oh. I feel like we weren't able to... Okay, efficiency. Okay. So, we've got circulators. We've got circulators and whatnot. Those, circulate the mana. They control the way that mana goes into places in such a way as to make them, not mana bound, which is, a dangerous state of being. So, we've seen Yumia talk about how the fact that areas around here are mana bound at all is kind of strange, because in theory, the Earth itself should be able to absorb the mana and redirect it in such a way that it's not actively hazardous to human life. So yes, so that, in theory, should be happening. As I had mentioned earlier, we had also been told that Alades was destroyed by mana, or rather it was destroyed by alchemy. And we know that alchemy involves manipulating mana. So, sort of my curiosity... Yeah, so, Yumia pointed out that the very existence of the mana-bound areas around here is something of an anomaly. It shouldn't be quite like that. Yes. She noticed that the pathways for the mana are being regulated by these devices in these places, which we can repair, and which we are being, expected to repair here. So yes, we have the capacity to do these various things. So I'm wondering, as I was saying, I wonder almost if the mana, I don't remember what it says pedestal, but I don't think that's the term that they use to describe them. It's just that the devices were on or involved a pedestal. Anyway. Yes, as I was saying. So, we have these setups that are able to circulate the mana and make the area safe once again. The area shouldn't be mana bound in the first place. So I wonder if someone in the ancient past of Aladis did something to disrupt the flow of mana, thus creating the mana-bound areas. And I wonder, since that there are these devices around to control that, to fix that issue, I wonder if they sort of caused that problem intentionally. They caused that problem, or rather, okay. So the existence of the mana-bound areas and the existence of something to counter them implies that that was sort of a pre-existing problem. Obviously, if just the mana-bound areas themselves spreading was what wiped out the Empire, then they wouldn't have had time to build these. But since they did build them, and since they are now non-functional, yeah, that's more what I was getting at. I needed to reorganize my thoughts there. Reorganize implies that they were organized at all to begin with. But yes. So, I assume, they did something that caused the flow of mana to be disrupted, such that the Earth isn't able to absorb it properly, or that the usual sort of mana channels aren't able to be used properly. But yeah, I assume that they did something to that effect, and then they built these pedestals in order to be able to fix that. And so I wonder if someone then went and sabotaged them, sabotaged the network, perhaps, to cause the collapse of the Empire. Because we've definitely seen that there are some individuals, we saw in the prologue, there are some individuals who are antagonistic to us specifically. Yeah, antagonistic to us specifically. So I wonder if there is someone, like some force here, maybe stemming from the Empire themselves, or maybe from some later group coming in, who is actively trying to suppress this information for whatever reason. Anyway. So yeah. So again, I don't know. I'm still very new to the whole, running scheduled ad breaks to avoid pre-rolls thing. But I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give a 1-minute ad break a try here. And we'll see how that affects the scheduled ad break and the pre-rolls and all that. And then we'll wrap up. I've returned. Alright, the ad break is still coming up, so the answer is no. So, that being said, we will simply snooze the ad again, and we will snooze the ad again. Ah, okay. So it does look like, okay, I think I understand it now. Yeah, I was thinking of running a 3-minute ad break as just getting rid of delaying the upcoming scheduled ad. But looking at it and how it appears on the ads manager, it seems to have shortened the upcoming ad break. So yeah, so I suppose, yeah, okay. It has shortened the upcoming ad break, or at least the bar that is used to represent that is smaller now. Anyway, I still want to finish this before we get into an ad, so let me be efficient here and wrap up. So, if anyone has any raid suggestions, I would be delighted to hear them. If not, I can find a target on my own, and one way or the other, we're going to go over the business and all that so that you have time to do so. So, tonight has been Atelier. As you can tell, I'm still very enthusiastic about this game and thinking about it a lot. Yes, I am very eager to continue our explorations and to see more about what's going on, and to see more of this big, nice world. So, that being said, yes, tomorrow, more Guilty Gear Strive. Not a whole lot to say about that, per se. I don't have anything too specific planned. I think we'll just be continuing to, play online and just sort of seeing what happens. Okay, anyway, from there, Saturday, Arknights. There's a possibility that the Arknight stream could be delayed for some reason, but I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think that I will be occupied for that long, though I definitely will be occupied for a decent chunk of Saturday. So, that all being said, I'm not seeing any raid suggestions. So, let's see. I think tonight we are going to... I think we're going to drop in on Lumi once again. Luminously. Hot Lady Knight VTuber. Yes, playing some Adamari Damacy reroll, it looks like. Yes. So, I think that's all that needs to be said here. So. Definitely going to be playing some more of the game off stream, I think. Again, I want to do a little bit more fighting. I want to do a little bit more exploring. Anyway. So yes. So, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you have had a fine night. I hope that you will continue. Oh, hold on. Let me get the raid set up. Luminously. 3 eyes. There we are. Yes. The customary raid message is, as always, we have arrived. And so, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you have had a fine night. I hope that you will continue to have a fine night every night. And I hope that you'll be well until the next time I see you. Thank you all very much, and farewell. Let us get this raid underway.